We're going to move now to cyberspacewar.com for all the latest from the threats to our outer space to our inner space. First, from Danger Room, word of a soldier's death leaks on Facebook. Everybody's dumping on Facebook right now, and CEO Mark Zuckerberg's apologies for giving away his customers' personal information aren't exactly helping matters. And of course, we've gone over that he thinks of his early users, at least, as dumb fucks, and that In-Q-Tel, the investment arm of the Central Intelligence Agency, gave Facebook a lot of their get-up-and-go capital to do the data mining operation that they are doing as we speak. Continuing. But in the military community, there's an interesting twist on the Facebook as privacy civ debate. Turns out the names of soldiers dying in Afghanistan are sometimes appearing on Facebook before they're officially released. This ain't a small deal in military circles. U.S. bases in Iraq and Afghanistan go into what's called River City, with access to the outside internet shut down when one of their troops is killed in action. The idea is to give time to notify next of kin before word of the death leaks out. Last Wednesday, however, King's College of London PhD student Daniel Bennett was able to penetrate that veil of silence with a few clicks of the social media search engine currently.com. That's currently with a K. Bennett found Facebook chatter about the death of 20-year-old Private First Class Billy G. Anderson in Afghanistan's Baghdis province. The Pentagon didn't announce that Anderson had been killed until 2 days later on Friday the 21st. From what I can tell, this Facebook leak appears to have come from Anderson's parents indirectly. On Tuesday the 19th at 9:09 a.m., Robin McAllister Vance wrote on her Facebook wall, please pray for the family of Billy Anderson. This is the son-in-law of Gina Lewis, who works with me in accounting. They learned yesterday that Billy was killed in Afghanistan. Billy is survived by a young wife and a baby girl. But I'm guessing the news of other battlefield deaths has spread on Facebook even faster before families heard the news. It's not exactly the kind of personal info that the armed forces have begged its troops for years not to disclose. It's exactly the kind of personal info that the armed forces have begged its troops for years not to disclose. It's exactly the kind of material that caused some branches of the military to block access to Web 2.0 sites from their networks for quite a while. Now, the update to that is that pretty much the family themselves had posted about it and were aware of it. That's the update on the story. So, fortunately, someone didn't have to die, or someone didn't have to find out that their loved one died for a war based on a lie, and I'm sorry. But it is. That's how it is. Let's keep moving on cyberspacewar.com and jump over to the DEF CON 527, the ugly news purge for May 27th. Hacking, cough, fever, and runny nodes. First up, unbelievably, and this story spread around quite a bit, I believe, man infects himself with computer virus. And we're just going to grab the quick rundown from technewsdaily.com. University of Reading researcher Mark Gasson has become the first human known to be infected by a computer virus. The virus, infecting a chip implanted in Gasson's hand, passed into a laboratory computer. From there, the infection could have spread into other computer chips found in building access cards. All this was intentional in an experiment to see how simple radio frequency identification RFID chips like those used for tracking animals can host and spread technological diseases. The research shows that as implantable bionic devices such as pacemakers get more sophisticated in the years ahead, their security and the safety of the patients whose lives depend on them will become increasingly important, said Gasson. We should start to think of these devices as miniature computers. And just like everyday computers, they can get sick. They can get sick. And again, I know this all seems like bizarre sci-fi, but it's rapidly becoming and has become already and enveloped all around us non-fi. It's real. Speaking of real and other bloated threataganda. We've been talking for weeks now, at least specifically about Richard Clark, former counterterrorism czar. Your government killed you. He's admitted. It's sourced back to him by way of, I believe, Professor Lawrence Lessig, that in the event, and not if, but when there's an I-9/11, they have an I-Patriot Act waiting to shove down our Facebooks. So the latest round, and we've got stuff from CBS4 in Denver and, again, technofascismblog.com, where Clark says that the next terrorist threat will be from those resisting technology. And that's how a lot of this goes. The phony war of terror. If you resist any part of this, if you think the banksters have bought everything up and gave us the crumbs through their multi-generational serial killer families and their roundtable organizations and societies with secrets, if you don't like the war, if you don't like that, if you don't like the body scanners, the spy cams, the biometrics, the RFID, the coming green police, it's against dissent. And that's why all crime is terror, according to the Patriot Act. And they say it's about one thing, to get you to go along with it. And again, they always have a catalyzing, catastrophic event to herd us along, to escalate the agenda. It's all about dissent. So let's take a listen to this CBS4Denver.com report that a cyber war could cripple the nation.
Terrorists can threaten people here in the U.S. by spending a few dollars to create havoc or even building a bomb.